Hey, you all. Welcome back to Mirror Expressions, a channel where I take the time to share a little bit of myself with you all. And I invite y'all to come on in and do the same with me. Y'all know I'm going to ask, hit thumbs up, y'all. Let's get these videos out into the algorithm. And also, if you have not subscribed, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to let me know how you are doing because I got to keep up with my people. So if you have looked in a mirror today and you are feeling A1 with what you see looking back at you, go ahead and drop me a mirror emoji in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Let me know how you doing. Because I'm doing fantabulous today and I'm loving what I see. All right, y'all. This is Married at First Sight UK, Season 7, Episode 2. The one thing I have noticed that is also kind of different from the US version is that they don't name their episodes. Am I the only one who picked up on that? Like, the first episode wasn't a big deal because sometimes the first episodes don't get named, but I'm also noticing like this is episode 2 and it didn't have a name or title to it either. It's just like, oh yeah, this is episode 2. So it is what it is. Anyway, just a little observation. Just a little observation. So we just keep it moving like we see the experts, and they're talking about the next couple to be married, which is Thomas and Adrian. And y'all, we already know Thomas is a little spitfire. We got to see that last week when he was mingling within the group with the ladies or whatever. So he's a 31-year-old mental health care assistant. He likes to be the center of attention. Yes, we picked up on that, Thomas. He's especially close with his mom and his nan, which is, I'm learning what they use for grandmother. Like, because I've heard several people say that now, like their nan. So he's very close with his mom and his nan, at least when she was living, but she is now since passed on. And he also caretaked her like the last parts of her life or whatever. He works with mentally ill men and helps to rehabilitate them to get back into society. He's hyper focused on his outer appearance. Like he likes to get Botox, the fillers. He says he has had his ears pinned. So stuff like that. So yeah. Now Adrian, he is a 37-year-old digital designer. He's a great listener. He's into theater. And he wants someone he can become a team with. Now, both of these are some very good looking men. Now, I'm going to say like Thomas, he is kind of like the time. He is like, what am I trying to say? I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, but, you could tell, like I said, that he's definitely all about his appearance. Like, he gets the spray tan, like he does the makeup. He's gonna make sure like his eyebrow, like he wants to come across picture perfect, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But he did say that he had a period where he just was not comfortable in his skin, and that kind of is what is showing. And so now he's just decided to live his life out loud. He's not worried about what people think. And so that's where he is. Now Adrian's very good looking too. He's a handsome young man too. I guess, and I'm prefacing that because when they see each other at the altar, it was kind of like, it felt flat, at least for Tom. But we'll get more into that. But anyway, so let's go get into the second couple that got married today, and that is April and George. So George is a 40-year-old financial advisor. These two are so cute together. I'm liking their match. I'm liking their match. So he has 4 children. Yes, 4. That's a lot. I don't know if I'd be willing to take on that many. But the good thing is they are all by his ex-wife. So he's been married before. I think he said like 12 years. I don't know. Don't let me lie. He's been married. They were married for a while, and they have 4 children together. I think if I were to date a man with 4 kids, there would have to be the saving grace, like that there's only one other parent versus 4 kids with like 2 to 4 different parents. Like that to me would be a bit much. You know what I'm saying? Um, he's very conservative. He does a little modeling. He's been divorced for the past 4 years. April is a 32-year-old dress designer. She's spontaneous. Her specialty is bridal gowns. So she says she's always the the bridal dress designer, but never the bride. So she also does pageants, and she won like Miss Great Britain 2020 or something like that. She's currently learning how to fly because she likes doing things that people tell her she can't do. So she's learning how to fly a plane. She's getting her pilot license. So her mom left her at the age of 8. So she has rejection issues. And y'all, this is a very beautiful lady. So I wonder, like, she didn't really go into why her mom left. And so I'm just curious, like, what would prompt a woman to leave her entire family? So she was basically raised by her dad and her nan. And so, like I said, that's just has caused her to have rejection issues. And I can understand that. Like, that's very, like, your mother is a very pivotal person in your life. Like, that's the first person you kind of bond with coming straight out of the womb, and to have that person just up and leave. Like, she's the person that literally birthed you, gave you life, and like nursed you if she was breastfed. But even if she wasn't, usually 9 times out of 10, the mom is the one doing the feedings. So yeah, I can just imagine how hard that would be and how that could set up some rejection issues for her in the long term. Especially leaving at such a young age too. She was only 8, you know? So young kids are trying to figure out who they are, and then to have your parent up and leave. Yeah, I can just imagine that has how that impacted her, like even in other ways, in other areas, not just her having rejection issues, but I can see how that has set her up to have other issues in other areas as well. So anyways, April, so they're the ones getting married. So we kind of see them telling their people, like, we don't get a whole big production like we do with the U.S. version of Married at First Sight. Like, we don't even get to see all the couples doing it, but we see like a little glimpse, and we don't really get to see or expand on their expressions or their comments. Like, so anyway, but we see her tell her dad that she's getting married to a stranger. And again, it was just kind of like dad was just like, oh, and that was pretty much it. Now we did see George we got a little bit longer glimpse of George. So he's telling his mom and his nan. And so he just is like, I want to invite y'all to my wedding. And no, I think this is his mom and his godmother. And so, because they're out eating, right? Or I think maybe they're at his house. See, this is another thing. Like, we don't even really get the full context, but I would say they somewhere sitting down at a table having some glasses of wine. Okay? I think they may be at his house. But anyway, so they're sitting down and they're on the same side of the table. The ladies are, and he's sitting across from them. And so he tells them he wants to invite them to his wedding. Y'all, they just start laughing like, and It was so cute because they would do things in sync. Like you could tell they're good friends, like they're really best friends. So they just looked at each other and just like Kelko. Oh my goodness. And so he's like, no, it's real. And it's to a stranger. And y'all, it was so funny again because literally both ladies had their little wine glasses and they were about to take a drink. And when he said that, they both slammed them glasses down on the table, like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Oh, goodness. At first, Mama was like, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. You know, this can't be. But she finally did say, she turned to the other lady and said, well, at least we're going to a wedding. Then she broke the third glass again because she took a drink, they all toasted, and then she slammed the thing down again. Like she done broke the whole still from the glass. I said, I'm surprised it's just now breaking. The way she been slamming that glass down, but they were too cute. So that was pretty much it. Everybody told their people though. And so that was the biggest one that kind of stood out for me. For me was George telling his people because they were too cute. So it is wedding day. And Thomas is being a full-on groomzilla. This Thomas, he's gonna be a mess. So I'm gonna tell y'all so far. It's Whitney. She a little spitfire. And Thomas. Those two right now, they are gonna keep this pot stirred up. They are going to keep it going. They're gonna keep the drama going. So yes, Thomas is being a full-on groomzilla. Like, ain't nothing right. He just fussing. You can tell he has high anxiety. He does. Because he just like flitting from here to there, there to here, and everywhere else. Like da 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 da. Like yeah, he has high anxiety. You can tell. So anyway, he's talking to his mom and he's telling her that one of his deal breakers is that he will not move. Okay, so another difference from the US version is that they just take an area like and get people from that whole entire area versus like picking, like say in America how they pick like a state, or I mean not a state, a city, and get people from the same city, right? So they're in London, so they have gotten people from different parts of London. So his thing is, if his match ain't where he from, he is not ready to move. You know what I'm saying? And so there's another lady in there. I don't know exactly who she was. It could have been like his sister, cousin, I don't know, or friend. I don't know. But she speaks up and she's just kind of like, you know, you're gonna have to be willing to compromise. Like you can't just go in saying what you want and what you won't do, you know, what you will and what you won't do. And so Thomas, he's just over there really freaking out. He's just freaking out, just about everything. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is going perfect for the wedding. His makeup ain't right. Like nothing is doing what it's supposed to be doing. So over there with Adrian, you know, he got his best friend Katie over there. She's his best groomswoman or something to the fact he said he called her. So anyway, Katie was just like, you know, things are gonna be weird, not being his number one person anymore. I said, let me find out y'all got a codependent relationship going on over there. So anyway, Asia was like, I hope you like him just as much as I do. Baby, best friend said, watch my facial expressions because it don't lie. I'm telling you exactly how I feel by my facial expressions. And you know what, y'all, I'm laughing, but I'm the same way. Like, I cannot hide my feelings. Like, my face is definitely going to tell it all. And it's just I do not have a poker face at all. I never have. And even though I know this about myself, so I will try to like contain and reel it in, and it's I can't. And it's this all up in here. Like, oh y'all, my eyebrows, oh child. I can't. So we see April getting ready, and she has her. Oh no, this was April that called her that. Called her best friend, her best bridesman. So she has her best bridesman, Jose, and he really seems like he cares about her. And I say that not to say that Katie didn't seem like she really cared about Adrian. She does. But I just mean like he has like this really sweet disposition too. Jose does. So April really wants things to work out, but she's already kind of second guessing herself. And you got to just remember that again, she has all these thoughts that she's never good enough because of things she's experienced, like the biggest one being her mom left her when she was 8 years old. And I just said, honey, you are beautiful. Like you are gorgeous. Now I can't say that's true from the inside out, but from the inside in, you are gorgeous. And I will venture to guess from the inside out that you are, because you do seem to have a sweet disposition as well. But baby, you are gorgeous. Don't you ever second guess yourself. Like, you are breathtaking. You know what I'm saying? So stop feeling like you're not good enough, because you are enough. Period, point, and the blank, boo-boo. You are enough. So anyways, April's dad, he was just over there beaming. Like when she walked into the room, finally dressed. And I was like, oh. He even kind of got emotional because her nan who helped raise her, has since passed away. And so she's not been able to be there for that moment. He kind of just brought that up, how she would be so proud and would think that she's absolutely gorgeous. So he got a little emotional talking about that. I was like, oh, yeah, you can tell they are very close. And yeah, they just give me good vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like genuine good vibes. You know what I'm saying? So over with George, he is really concerned that his wife would not like the fact that he has 4 kids, which is a big deal because obviously he's a package deal. Like, those are his babies. And when you see me, you see them. And when you see them, you see me. You know what I'm saying? So it's that type of situation. So, and I can get there because he said, he's tried dating in the past. And usually that seems to kind of be the point of, I guess, contention, you could say. Like when people find out that he has the 4 children, it's just like, oh, no, I'm done, And I can also get that because that's a big thing. That's a big responsibility to take on, especially when you already think like how hard it can to be just blended families as well. And especially if maybe they have children or if they want children, and just thinking about like the financial aspect, the emotional aspect, because that's 4 more little ones versus maybe 1 little one, 2 little ones. But now you're thinking about at least 4, and like I said, and then if the woman has more children, that's even more little people you have to think about and their emotional well-being when it comes to trying to blend a family. So yeah, that's a lot to take on. So I can get it both ways, you know what I'm saying? How that can just be, difficult for him, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, he's at the altar waiting, y'all, and when he turns around and he sees April, y'all, they both just light up. I was like, oh, I think the word he actually used was, she looks delicious. He was smitten, y'all. He was. And it was just like, yeah. And y'all even together? They look so cute. Like, I'm rooting for them. I am definitely rooting for them to work out. And so she was pleased too. So when it came down, they said their vows or whatever. And when it came down to kissing the bride, she did give him, she did give him her cheek though. So I didn't know, like, if she was just kind of being a lady. She wasn't, she's one of those that just doesn't kiss on the first dates. Or I was just hoping that it wasn't because she didn't really like him. But I'm going to have to go with the former. Like, I don't think it's that she don't really like him. So, anyway, they're taking their pics and, just talking, getting to know one another. Oh, excuse me, y'all. I'm sorry. And so he's fretting about telling her about his kids. So he asks, like, is it just you? And she's like, just me? And he says, yes. Like, are you on your own or do you have children? And y'all, she said she's not sure she wants children. I said, come on, experts. Like, my heart literally dropped for George in that moment. Like, don't tell me, experts. Y'all, I'm finna put y'all in the boat with these experts on the U.S. version. Like, don't tell me y'all done match these people. And he got 4 whole children over here. And you got a woman that don't even know if she wants kids. Please don't tell me y'all did that. Please do not say, like, let me know that she put a different answer on her application and y'all roll with that. And now the more she thought about it, now she said she just don't know she won't kiss. I'm just like, they better had not. Oh, paired this lady with this man that don't even have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 kids. And she don't know if she even want kids. Oh, ay, 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 ay. So she's like, do you have children? And so he says, yes. And she says, well, how many? He says, 4. She was like, oh my gosh, you don't even look old enough. So to me, that kind of like was a compliment, really, right? At least that's how I took it. Like, I think, and maybe she probably was surprised that he does have 4, but it wasn't like the overarching thing of him spilling the beans, I got 4 children. Like, it was, oh my God, you got 4 kids? I don't want to be with nobody with 4 kids. It was just like, oh my gosh, you got 4 kids. Like, that's a lot to take in. But at the same time, look, you don't even look like you old enough to have 4 kids. Like, so to me, that was a compliment. Like, so I think she is processing the fact that he has 4 kids, but it's not a definite turnoff. Knocking on wood, because at least that's just what I'm getting in this moment. So anyway, so she did say it's pressure, for a new woman entering his life, and especially with him having 3 out of 4 girls, so how them little girls be about their daddy, right? And then like just a new woman coming in, period. So I got what she was saying with that. But and she did go on to say that she's scared to be a mom or a mother figure. But she's just speaking in general right now. Like, she's scared to be a mom or a mother figure because of how the relationship with her mom is. And I can see that. Like I said, I can understand, like, her mom leaving just setting up different issues for her, period, and in all kind of areas of her life, not just the whole rejection kind. But so she has a fear there, and that's natural. But I think when she actually becomes a mom, or well, I can't say actually because now she's a stepmother now. I think when she gets into that role, some of that will start to dissipate. But I do think that now if she's not going to therapy or has never been to therapy, and maybe she still needs to, if she hasn't, she needs to return, or she needs to start going because she still has fears, you know. And but I think once she gets in that role, some of that's gonna start to dissipate. But again, it may still be in the back of her head. That's why I was just like, it's good for her to go ahead and get into some therapy or whatever. But she says she does feel that she's feeling an immense amount of pressure since she didn't get to choose if this was something she was willing to deal with. So she's also feeling the pressure that she has to deal with this, you know, versus, oh, this is a dating situation that comes up and now I have the ball is in my court and I have the choice, well, to say if this is something I want to deal with or if this is something I don't want to deal with. Again, all valid things, all valid things. You know, people should have choices about what they choose to and what they choose to not deal with, you know. So over with Thomas and Adrian, y'all, these people were a fool. Thomas said, do not play with him, baby. He has a horse-drawn carriage. Taking him to the venue, baby. He said that this is his Cinderella moment, okay? And the only thing that could top his entrance is if he came in by a parachute. Thomas is extra. He is extra, and I'm here for all the extraness. So Adrian is at the altar, right? And Katie says she's worried about him. That she's worried about him. So first thing Tom notices when he sees Adrian is that he's a blunt. Like he almost said it like he don't like it. I said, come on now, Thomas. Come on, Thomas. Blondes have all the fun. He was like, he's blonde, he's blonde. I've never dated someone who's blonde. Oh, goodness. Get over yourself, Thomas. So he did say that Adrian was not his type. Like, he didn't tell Adrian that. So we're hearing him saying Adrian is not his type. He was like, his suit is okay. I was just like, see, now, Thomas, you doing too much. You doing too much. Like, you are trying to critique this man head to toe. You don't like the color of his hair. You don't like the suit he's wearing. So I guess he's not fashionable enough for you. Like, come on, man. Give the man a chance. Give him a chance. So Adrian, on the other hand, said, you know, he was getting different vibes. Like, he thought Tom was handsome. And he thought that Tom kept looking at him like, we got this. Adrian, that ain't how Tom was looking at you. Tom was looking you up and down like trying to see what else he didn't like about you. I'm sorry to say, but that's how Tom was looking at you. He was not looking at you like, yeah, but we got this. So they say their vows, baby. And the best friend was over there in the corner like, not pleased. Like Katie had that face all turned up. And so I said she probably can feel, she's probably feeling them vibes that Thomas is giving off. You know, because you know, women, we see a lot more than men do. Men are so surface level, but Katie probably picking it. Katie is probably picking up on what the energy that Thomas is giving out. So she knows Thomas ain't here for Adrian. So it's time to be pronounced husband and husband, and you know they do kids. So I was like, okay, you know. So I was thinking, okay, Thomas, he gonna be a mess, but maybe he is gonna at least try to give things a chance. And so Adrian in his confessional basically said he got he said he got one good eye on Thomas because he can tell from his from Thomas's vows that Thomas is gonna be a handful. I said it is, boo. He ain't gonna be a handful. He is already a handful, baby. So man, he gonna be a handful. Anyway, Tom said that they were both in a magazine hot. No, he said if they were both in a magazine hot and not, he would be hot, and Adrian would be not. And then I'll say, but I guess beggars can't be choosy. I, yeah. Now, Tom, pipe down. Cause let's not get too ahead of ourselves, baby. Cause if we really want to be honest, boo, now I'm thinking Adrian got you in the looks department, boo boo. Don't do him like that. Do not. So bad. If we was in a magazine, hot or not, he would be the hot one. Y'all, that tickled me for some reason. I was not expecting to hear that. I was not expecting to hear that. But anyway, it's reception time, right? So April is asking George questions about, his children, like do they live with him? And he said, well, the oldest two do. And so she also wants to know like how his relationship is with his ex. He pretty much just said, they're amicable. And so they're up mingling with their guests. And so she's secretly telling her peeps, he has four kids. Four kids. He's doing the same, but telling people, I told her I got four kids. Anyway, her friend tells her to give him a chance because he seems like a nice guy. And his dad ends up even telling George that she is Miss Great Britain 2020, right? And so George was like, wow, he's wowed by that because, she hadn't told him that, which I probably, if I was in that thing too, I probably would not have either. And because, I just wouldn't have led with that or whatever. But anyways, so he's just like, wow. In his confessional, he's like, I really just married Miss Great Britain. I feel I need to do some push-ups and stuff. Like, he's like, man, I need to get on her level. I like that. That was cute. So over with Thomas and Adrian's reception, Katie, little Miss Best Friend, is just asking Thomas, like, what does he think? This man here starts naming off the most negative of things. He starts talking about how he didn't expect a blonde. He didn't expect somebody that was short. I was just like, and now mind you, they're at like the head table. So it's like Katie, Adrian, Thomas' mom. So they're talking, and Adrian is sitting there in between them, hearing all of this. Like, that was quite rude. You know what I'm saying? So, Katie said, well, what were you expecting? Thomas said, someone tall, dark, and handsome. Now, see, Thomas, you doing the most. So, Katie went from the jugular from there. She was like, she started asking him, has he had work done? Because, baby, you ain't too hot yourself. So, Thomas admits it. Thomas not, he ain't ashamed about it. So he admits it. And he starts telling her, like, he done had some Botox and stuff. And then he ends up just like, well, I just had everything done. You know what I'm saying? So the whole time, y'all, Adrian is just sitting there in between them looking awkward AF. So Katie then asks, like, well, did you want to do this? And if he's had his heart broken before. So he admits to being engaged before. Okay. And so, baby, Katie just was firing them questions back and forth at him. Like she didn't even give him a chance to fully answer one question before she was throwing another one back at him. I said, baby, it was like a tennis match. Tennis. I was like, goodness. And so, here go Tom's mom. Does she think she works for the news channel? See, this is why this finna be a mess. I see where Tom gets it from. He get it from his mama. He get it from his mama. Hey. He gets it from his mama. Mama is the mess. She a little messy boots. So Tom thought that was the funniest thing when his mama said this. So he was just like, like his whole mouth opened up. Like you. So yeah, they both petty and they like to be petty together. You know what I'm saying? So Katie didn't Katie didn't think it was funny though. And so Tom in his confession said Katie is grilling him like he's part of, like she is part of the experiment or one of the experts when she is not. I said, well, yeah, she is coming for you, Tom, but I think it's kind of how you done came for Adrian too. And I can tell that Adrian is just soft spoken. And to me, like, I feel like Adrian probably should have stepped up and stepped in to say something. Like at this moment, it does look like he's allowing Katie to fight his battle. That basically is what it's looking like. You know, I think it started off with her just wanting to ask questions, but as Tom came with his disrespect, then Katie turned hers up too. And then it just became a back and forth match, which at that point, Adrian probably should have just stepped on in, but he did. And so anyway, so Tom, yeah, I gotta agree with you. So anyway, then he goes on to say, like, bitch, be quiet. I said, oh, now he done called the best friend a bitch. Now he done called the best friend a bitch. Like, Tom, this is not what we finna do. Like, you being disrespectful all the way up through to now, Tom. Nah, come on. Come on. She trying to match your energy now. You the one came with it first. Talking about he short, he blonde, he ain't handsome. He gonna be in the how to not, he gonna be in the not the not section of it all. So, whew. Sorry, y'all. Anyway, Katie is going in, and you could just tell that Tom is really getting irritated with her, and Adrian himself hadn't said a word. So anyway, just looking from yeah, Adrian ain't said a word. He just kind of looking back for it. So anyway, Tom in his confessional is like, save me, Adrian. Save me. Save me from Katie. Just talk to me. So Katie asked him if this is his dream to have a house with a dog and a child. So Tom said his dream is to have a lovely life with his partner and to have these conversations with him. I said, oh, shots fired. In other words, like, shut up and let me talk to my man. I went damn. So in his confession, Tom said, you are not my husband. You are insignificant. Not that you are insignificant. Oh, goodness. So as much as I don't think I'm going to like Tom's personality, I have to agree with him on that. Like I said before, like, yeah, I think Katie is doing too much. I don't think that's initially how she started out, but now she really is doing too much. And like I said, I really think at some point Adrian should have jumped in also. And like the questions she was having, like those really should have been like questions coming from Adrian, since he's the one that married him. You know what I'm saying? So anyway. Tom was just like, give me the opportunity to talk with my husband first. So anyway, Tom tells Adrian, I don't feel like I've been able to sit and have a conversation with you because everybody has been asking questions. Y'all, here go old Missy Boo Tom's mom. Tom asked son. No, not everybody. Just, is she gonna look over at Katie? Mama had that big ass petticoat on, baby, and she was being petty Betty. So then, Tom had to piggyback off the mama talking about, so yeah, you're right, not everyone, just you. And he points to Katie. He then tells Adrian, you are a fully grown ass man that needs to look out for yourself. Like, I don't tell your husband, don't talk to him like that. Like, so now you already kind of implying that he can't handle his own stuff. He can't handle his own self. Like, I ain't like that either. But anyway, um, so, um, Katie's jump back in. Katie's just like, oh, so you're saying I'm protecting him, right? And Tom was just like, yeah. So Adrian said Katie is just good at keeping the conversation flow. Like, he's just trying to give an excuse, really. And I'm just like, nah, Adrian. Like, Katie was doing more than just keeping the conversation flow. So they get into a little tiff, like Katie and Tom. And then Katie is like, this is bull. She said she doesn't want this to work. She was like, she's over it. She's over it. And I probably would be too. Like, them vibes that Tom is giving off, I would have been like, this ain't from my good friend. Like, nope. So, yeah, she doesn't want them to carry on. So Tom is with his little posse, right? They're still at the reception and they're asking him how he's feeling. He's pouting, saying he feels he ain't feeling it because he couldn't get a word in with his husband. But because he has his PR with him, so he trying to say Katie his PR manager. How he couldn't get a word in because he had to talk to the PR manager or whatever. So other than that, he did say he thinks Adrian is kind and that he has a heart of gold and he wants to get to know him more. So Katie is telling Adrian that she doesn't think Tom is his type. And Adrian said, well, he's open to getting to know him. He said he will be approaching things as openly as he can. So I do like that, even though best friend gave her opinion, he didn't just run with it. So that lets me know he does have a backbone. Like, he just probably is a person that does not like conflict. You know what I'm saying? So over with April and George, April's best friend Jose is talking with George. They having like a one-on-one outside of the venue. And so he's telling her that she's a 10 out of 10, but beyond her appearance, she's fragile on the inside and she kind of doubts herself all the time. I like that best friend Jose is giving him the heads up, like, hey, she is fragile. I know she may look like she got it together on the outside, but on the inside, she is a little fragile. Now, George wants to know, like, what happened in her past that made her that way. And Jose brings up, like, this guy that she really loved that did her wrong. Now, why he did, like, we saw him mention that, like, we did not get to see him mention anything about her mom. So I don't know if he even brought that up or not. Maybe he didn't feel like that was his place to say, but he just wants to know that George is here for all the right intentions, basically. So George is making a toast. They're back all inside. And so, he made her toast and he has her absolutely blushing. Like, I like the two of them together. They are so cute. Yeah. Back at the shit show over with Adrian and Thomas, just the two of them are finally getting a moment to talk. Like they look like they probably stepped outside to a different room or something. And so they're sitting down talking. And Adrian brings up the tension between Tom and Katie, right? And so he says he tried to diffuse it. And Tom admits that Adrian did. So, see, there was. So we probably just didn't get to see that. But Tom does admit that Adrian did try to diffuse it, but it still felt like uh she was being his PR manager. So Tom is like, had that been your mother, it would have been different, but she is not your mother. Adrian said, you're right, she's not my mother, but my mother isn't here. And so Katie feels like a type of responsibility to be there for me. So Tom said, fair enough. And so I'm kind of glad they kind of settled their whole issue down. So Tom said he can't tell if Adrian has the same vibe as him. He can't read him. So Adrian said, well, when Tom said he was expecting a tall, dark, and handsome man, he didn't feel the need to say he didn't get what he wanted. He said he didn't want to do that in front of a crowd. He would rather do it just the two of them, like right now. Tom said, listen to me. I wasn't expecting one of the Backstreet Boys. So he's trying to say Tom looks like one of the Backstreet Boys. So they have a good kiki over there because he was just like, well, he said, listen, I was not expecting one of the Backstreet Boys. They kind of looked at each other for a minute and then they both burst out into laughter. So it looks like the ice is breaking. I would love if I was a man for somebody to say I look like one of the Backstreet Boys. Like, to me, that would be a compliment and not like a But anyway, they end up having a good kiki about this. So Tom said he does want to explore at least why they were matched together. And he said, would I have matched us together? No. But here we are. See, Tom, it be the comments like that. Just say you were open to exploring to see why they got matched. You ain't had to add all the extra. You know what I'm saying? Oh goodness. So Adrian said he had such an open person. Adrian said he's such an open person and he's willing to take any experience on and see what happens from there. Like, I love his attitude. You know what I'm saying? So they end up hugging it out and they kiss. And Tom said he is feeling better, that they have now had a chance to talk one-on-one. And so he actually said he's feeling a little bit more attracted to him. I was just like, But we shall see. So anyway, we see them making it to their honeymoon suite. And that was pretty much it. Like, we don't see anything beyond there. Adrian ended up saying he doesn't think there's going to ever be a dull moment with Thomas, and there shall not be. And then we saw April and George get to their honeymoon suite, and all I could think was, this little bitty ass bed. It didn't even look real. It looked like one of those beds that you see on the set of a sitcom show or something. It's a little bitty ass bed. And I said, now they could have got them a king size bed. But anyways, that was the end of the show, y'all. Okay. It's getting good. It's starting to, you know what I'm saying? So I can't wait. How many more couples we got? We've seen 4 now. So I think we got maybe 4 more to go. I think, if I'm not mistaken. Like, is that how it is? Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So far that Whitney gonna be a mess. Tom is gonna be a mess. I think they probably are giving us one show. The ones that's gonna keep this pot stirred up. But anyway, let me know what y'all think. Drop down in these comments and let's talk about it. And as always, I'll pray for you all. Y'all please pray for me. And what? Bye, y'all.